Welcome to the 2021 Fastlane. Now, two things. One, this is going to be an extremely short review because there was nothing here. Two, I knew about NWA back in Attack. Now, I decided not to actually watch it until tomorrow. So, I will be doing my review on Monday and I'll upload it then. I didn't want to have a conflict where it comes on at 4. I didn't know how long it was going to be. It's only 2 hours. I found that out. But going from 4 to 6, I saw it, I would have had the notes, but then I would have to film it. And not knowing how long it's going to take me to film it, then I would have missed Fastlane. So I decided to skip Back in the Attack and do this, where I kind of wish I hadn't. Hang on a minute. Make it a little brighter. There you go. That's much better. I'm still working out the lighting on this camera on and off. But guys, I will be doing Back in the Attack. It should come out tomorrow. Millie, I'm tired right now. This is what you get when you have insomnia. When you already have problems sleeping because of the situation of the world. But if you got insomnia on top of it, and you will stay up, if you sleep maybe about 4 or 5 hours at one point, you'll stay up into the next day. And then when you come around this time, you get so tired, finally you begin to cop out during a review. That's what happened with Fastlane. On and off, I kept falling asleep. But to be honest, I didn't miss much. I checked out what was going on for the stuff I did miss, and I didn't see anything that I needed to be upset about. Because Fastlane meant nothing. Now, mind you, there was only one match on the show. One that I cared about. One. Now, let's get through this. The women's tag match. Oh my goodness. Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks versus Jax and Baszler. Who cares? I'm sorry. I was already being sleepy at the time, so it was even harder to stay awake. It wasn't the fact the match was bad quality. It's the fact the storytelling sucks. It sucks. That's the problem. You leave the titles on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax instead of dropping it off to Gonzalez and I forgot her name, Dakota Kai. See, I'm sleeping. Instead of doing that, you don't drop them off, and then you create belts for these women on NXT, and then in the same day you give these belts because for some stupid reason Vince wanted to have those belts be defended, but then not dropped off at the right time because they were dropped off too soon because the women's tag team the women's tag team tournament was too short due to the fact that Vince wanted to make it short. He wanted to put it on TV when he shouldn't have. And then these women got the titles, and then these women job out to Ember Moon and Blackheart when they should have just gotten the titles from Nia Jax and the Shayna Baszler. You now know why I don't like NXT. It was stupid, and so was this match. Honestly, why would you have both Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks in this situation? Why don't you just drop Naomi and I know that's stretching it. Look, you know I love Naomi, but I haven't seen her months upon months upon months. But if you're going to do something with Naomi, she's stuck with Lana, give them the damn titles and just move on. No. What about Dana Brooks and Mandy Rose? Give it to them. No. You leave them on the two women that make no sense. I'm moving on. The IC title match was the only one I cared about. Apollo versus Big E. And I haven't watched Raw, but I have seen highlights of how much Big E has grown. Now, of course, he still needs more work. But he's gotten somewhere. His attitude has changed. He's different, which I love. Next, his music being changed. And then Apollo Crews. Whether he's of Nigerian blood or not. We really find my Nigerian or not. I am Apollo. It's cliche. Let's be honest. It's cliche. But is it bad? No. He's pulling off a Nigerian prince spoiled brat attitude, flat out beautiful. And the match was beautiful. You know why? It wasn't that it was incredibly technical. It wasn't that it was heavily fast paced. It wasn't that it was super strong. It was telling a story that Big E had not beat Apollo once. He beat him twice. He beat him 3 times. Then he's demanding another match by causing nothing but havoc. And Big E made it very clear, I gave you multiple shots. Now you pissed me off. Now I'm going to make you pay. And he gave him 2 splats on the edge of the ring skirt. 2 nasty splats. I enjoyed this match. Now, unfortunately, at the last minute, my stream died. I do not know how the ending happened. I did find out later because during most of the show, when I was trying to keep myself awake, I did manage to find a place that I can see the last few moments of that match. And it was a roll-up. Apollo rolled up Big E, and then Big E reversed the roll-up, and pretty much Big E won, then got his butt kicked. Now, here's the thing. I love Big E's new persona. It's better. The music is better. He may have similar clothes like he's always had. That's fine. Apollo has changed out a lot. For nearly 4 years, I'm sure even longer, he's had no persona. He didn't have one on NXT. He was brought up to the roster too soon. The guy has been floating. He has done nothing. This is the best work he's ever done. And to be honest, he should have been rewarded with the IC title. I do not agree with him not having a title here. It was dumb. Flat out dumb. That's it. Let's move on. Sheamus versus... I'm doing it now. Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. No holds barred match. Now, this wasn't about the match was bad. This was about no stipulation for WrestleMania for Sheamus. A stipulation of the match, no holds barred, but nothing for Sheamus. They keep saying, without this, Drew can't move on. What are you talking about? He's beaten him twice. Twice he's beaten Sheamus. I believe maybe 3 times, but if I remember, twice he's already beaten him. No problems. He's whooped his ass. And pretty much now there's a no-holds-barred match with no implication for WrestleMania. They kept saying this, implication of WrestleMania. Drew has to beat him. He's never going to move on. How is he not going to move on? What did it mean for Sheamus? It wasn't like he was going to be added. That was the thing. If there had to be a no-holds-barred match, the stipulation had to be there's no holds barred. And I'm part of the stipulation. If Sheamus wins, he's added to match between him, Drew, and a Lashley. That made more better damn sense. No. Nothing. In the end, I didn't expect Sheamus to lose too easily, and he didn't. It wasn't bad. Sheamus got his ass whooped, so did Drew, and I think Sheamus might have hurt his hip because he was grabbing his hip a lot. A lot. Hopefully he's alright. But in the end, Drew wins. Doesn't mean anything. Because, one, they already dropped a hint that Drew and Sheamus were going to WrestleMania before Fastlane. That was stupid. And 2, there was no stipulation for Sheamus to be interjecting himself in WrestleMania. That would have been the best thing to do. Moving on. Elias versus Braun Strowman. Supposedly, Elias wanted to get in WrestleMania and perform. Didn't he perform before WrestleMania? I don't even remember. He probably didn't. Maybe SummerSlam. I'm not sure. But as far as I remember, he did perform once at WrestleMania. So I don't know why he's doing it now. I want to do it as a kid. I've been wanting to do this as a kid. Please. Please. You already done it, I believe. And you did it at SummerSlam. And also you did it at Survivor Series. Excuse me. I think he did one in Royal Rumble. I don't know. I don't remember. But supposedly, Shane hurt himself during training. So he told Elias, hey, you'll be able to perform, but you're going to be doing something with Strowman. Strowman destroys him. And honestly, I saw the highlights. I don't care. What is the point of Strowman getting green slimed? That is something from the 1980s, and that is something Vince would do. It's dumb. Yeah, Strowman might not have a problem with it, having green slime thrown on him. Might even be able to say, oh, damn, I'm getting green slime on me. The only thing I wish it was on Nick when I was a kid. Because Strowman's younger than me. He's in his 30s. So he will remember Nick in the 90s. But this, please. please. Now, the match I fell asleep on. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. Now, I thought what might happen is Seth might beat Shinsuke, which I do believe he was going to, and then you were going to have a Cesaro come out and try and help his friend. From what I can tell, when I did take a chance of seeing the ending of it, because I didn't watch it all the way, I was still doing my notes for this, because I didn't think it would be much, and it wasn't. I'm not saying they had a bad match. Cesaro didn't come out from what I saw. Now, if he did, because I had to rush back to check the other matches I was watching, is what you get. Now, you guys tell me below. I did not see the tag belts defended. Not Raw, not SmackDown. As far as I know, there was no tag belts. You tell me below if I was wrong, because it's a good possibility when I fell asleep, I might have missed a lot. The match that was the most underwhelming of the entire thing. No, wait. Let me do the ending, and then I'll do the most underwhelming. How do I feel about Roman versus Daniel Bryan? And having Edge as the special enforcer? Okay. The match wasn't bad. In the end, I didn't expect Bryan to win because they didn't give him a stipulation to go. Well, they did actually didn't give him WrestleMania stipulation. He was given kind of like a WrestleMania stipulation because if he won, he goes to WrestleMania as champ. And I think what should have happened, and this is just me, because some people like myself do not believe Edge and Roman Reigns is good. Not at all. So what would have been better? A stipulation that said Roman versus Daniel Bryan. Who, if Roman loses, Daniel Bryan's added to WrestleMania instead of Daniel Bryan having the match before WrestleMania with I just believe that would have been better. It was an okay match. Good, to be honest. Kind of dragged on a lot longer than I expected. In the end, you got, once the match was over, you got Edge nailing both of them. And that's due to the fact that Edge got nailed by Daniel Bryan by accident. If I remember correctly. I am kind of tired right now, so insomnia, guys. It was okay, but to be honest, it just felt like a waste of time. Why defend the title at Fastlane? It made no sense. Now, and I think this will be the title, the most underwhelming match of the year. Not because of the match quality, because there wasn't any, but because the ending. Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes out waiting for Alexa Bliss, having goo, which was basically the green, which looked black mist, coming out of his mouth, like he did in the last Raw, I believe. Waits for Alexa, comes out. She flashes fire at him twice. She had a light scaffold fall on him almost. And then you had a hand come out, which you see in my face. One of the few images I think I'm going to use, because I don't think I'm going to use almost no images except for Apollo Crews and Biggie Langston, because I'm probably not going to add I'm not going to do any heavy editing in this of putting images. I'm going to do Apollo Crews and Biggie and this. No other images. I'll put images in this. But guess what? We get to see The Fiend. Finally, after months and months. What did we get? The Fiend just burnt. No new costume, no new persona, no new nothing. It is just a Fiend. I believe I have the picture of him in my face if I got the shot. He's in my face, if I got it. Hopefully I do. And guess what? Nothing changed except for burnt clothes. Honestly, that was the most underwhelming reappearance of a character I've seen. I don't know about anyone else. Maybe they'll love it. They'll love seeing The Fiend. Hey, they'll say The Fiend looks great. He looks great burnt. And Alexa Bliss, after Randy Orton got his butt kicked with his sister Abigail, she straddles the guy and she gets the pin. Fine. Who wouldn't want to be straddled by Alexa Bliss? A woman who's cute for her size with a nice fake pair of tits. But to be honest, and understand, I'm not against Alexa Bliss. For all the time that Bray Wyatt has not been on TV, she's carried it before and after. And from what I've seen, she's done a good damn job. So I take nothing away from Alexa. She worked her ass off to make this persona work. But she's connected to Bray Wyatt, who has done nothing. And now they brought him back, and guess what? He has just a persona as probably the same way as it was, but now he's burned. 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 Really? Unless he has some new persona when he goes on Raw, this was shit. It was an underwhelming show. It was a disappointing show. I'm glad I fell asleep on part of it. It didn't mean anything. But this is just me. Watch for my end of... I'm actually quite curious to see how the ending of NWA Back and Attack is going to be. And I think I should address this right now. When it comes to NWA Power, guys, the only thing I could think of, because we're going to have Impact Wrestling on the same day as NWA Power. NWA comes out first, then Impact second. There's no way I can film NWA then Impact. I just can't. And then the next day, you're going to have, counting if I have stuff to do, you're going to have Dynamite. The best idea I could have would be Impact Wrestling, then Dynamite, and Thursday it's going to be NWA Power. Doesn't mean I'm going to get views. That's going to be the major problem with me. I'm not going to get views because of it, because people like to see it on the same day it comes out. But I can't if I'm doing my Impact review. So it's got to be pushed back 2 days. Now, unless you have a better idea what me to do, tell me. Peace.